Man. I mean, what if I fumble the ball? Okay. And now you put the recording in progress? Goodness gracious. Phillip Alcoholic. Hello, everyone. Good evening, good morning, wherever you may be. Good afternoon. I am grateful to be here. Thank you, Jeffrey, for asking me to speak. I will make a slight correction, though, in what you said. Y'all ain't here to hear me. We are here to stay sober. That's why we're here. We're here because we all have a common disease of alcoholism that we need every day to address. And that's why we're here. That's why I'm here. That's why I said yes. That's why I try to say yes any and every time I can, even if my mind goes to work on me. It's like, man, they don't need to hear me again. They done heard me so many times. You know, that's what my insecurities, that's what my fear wants to say. Now, what am I going to bring to the table here? So this is a little weird just looking at myself right here. Jeffrey, why you got me all on the big screen? Oh, why you got me on the big screen? Oh, I was and I wish I had been able to come early. I love to come early to these meetings where you got the music going and it's just, such a great idea to jam and connect. I think music is such a great way for us to connect and catch a vibe, and get on the same frequency, get on one accord. Music has a way of doing that. So I'm sorry, I was sad that I missed that. I was actually doing some recording on the other side of town. And then it ended right at 4. And I was like, man, I got to get them. Man, I hope, this is LA traffic. LA traffic, you can't never depend on, but you can depend on being late somewhere. In LA traffic, that's what you can depend on. So I was like, man, I hope I can make it there and here in time. And I texted Jeffrey, I'm going to try in the car to get on. And I wasn't able to make it, but I'm here now. And I'm so grateful. But while I was in the car, I was thinking about somehow the word help came to me. And I was thinking about that word help and how sometimes that is one of the hardest 4-letter words to say. And one of the hardest 4-letter words to accept. We're quick to use them other 4-letter words, of which I will not repeat. Right? Those are right here in the front pocket, the back pocket. Hey, watch yourself now. But why is it sometimes that the heaviest 4-letter word to lift and offer is help? And mainly, the idea that I need help, that I thought, I had it figured out. I thought that I knew things about myself. I thought that I had kind of understood who I was and the trajectory of my life. And these things that exist in me, whether I like them or not, whether they're positive or not, it's fine. It's me. It's who I am. What could I possibly need help for? And I'm so grateful to the 12 Steps of Alcoholics Anonymous that helped me to get to the source of not only what is going on with me and some of the reasons why I drank and partied and used the way that I did, but also it gets me into the practice of asking for help. I need help. When I was introduced to the idea of the 10th step, that whole 3-step thing where you ask God to remove anger, fear, resentment, anything that is, maybe even a character defect, or in the moment you got, you want to go off on your coworker or go off on your spouse or just act a fool because you're in your feelings and you're in the emotion of the moment. They've got this word help. That's kind of factored into these 12 steps where you ask God for immediate help. God, please remove this anger while I'm in this LA traffic. Can you just remove this anger? And then you call on someone for help, to share what's going on with you, to talk it out, to get it out into the open. Or sometimes my therapist likes to say the space between two people. You know, something exists in the space between two people that is far more solution based than when it exists in here. And I've got to get it out of here so that I can get it in here, and then God can do something with that, or my higher power can do something with that. But while it's in here, I'm ideating and I'm ruminating on ideas and feelings and things that prevent me from staying in the moment and that are keeping me at a distance from my peace. Which for me, that's why I'm here. I'm here to get peace. I'm here to get connected with joy, and I'm here to be of service. You know, it's not about me. That's what I learned in Alcoholics Anonymous, is that it's not about me. You know, the good and the bad of me is not about me. You know, what I learned is everything that I experienced in my drinking life, the highs and the lows, the peaks and the valleys, you know, the ups and the downs, it all, as I see it, was designed so that I could use that to be of service to someone else that may be going through the same thing, or maybe I can prevent them from going through some of the things that I went through just by telling my story, just by offering up help. So, you know, I grew up in a relatively small town in Indiana to two awesome parents who are still married. They just celebrated 50 years. Hallelujah, 50 years. Happy anniversary to them. 50 years. I don't know how they did it. Well, I kind of know how they did it. You know, 50 years of marriage is like, don't leave. That's really what it is. Don't leave. You can make it. You know, I've been married 2017, so 4 years, right? But I've been with my now wife, boy, 17, a long time, many years. And there's so much truth to that. You know, we say it here, right? Keep coming back. But it's true in our relationships at times as well. You know, don't leave before the miracle. You know, sit and don't make hasty decisions. You know, I've had to understand that sometimes my wife is not going to like me, you know, and sometimes I'm not going to like her either. And that's okay. You know, sometimes I'm not going to want to be sober. Sometimes I may wake up and go, this is bullshit. I can't do it today. I got fired today. I got hired today. You know, I lost a relationship. I gained a relationship. In my alcoholism, I drank whether I'm celebrating or whether I'm depressed. It didn't matter. You know what I mean? I want to check out. You know, the checking out happens, you know, at least I define it as checkout when I'm, you know, feeling bad about what's going on in my life. But I define it as deserved celebration when something good is going on. Come on, man, pop that, give me that bottle. What you mean I can't? Hey, I earned that. I earned, you know, the right to celebrate whatever it is that's going on in my life. You know, and then I hear, you know, from people like yourselves, phrases like, play the tape out. Play the tape all the way out. And if you're honest, and if I'm honest, and if we're honest with ourselves and we start to play that tape out, not just the parts that we want, if we're really honest about how that tape gets played out, that drink starts to sound less and less appealing. And then maybe these feelings that I'm sitting in, or this despondency that I found myself in, maybe I can take a breath and I can reflect on that word help. You know, maybe I should call somebody. Let me call somebody. Let me switch up my, you know, my chemical state. It's just like when we exercise, right? When we exercise, something chemically gets transformed in our bodies, and endorphins and serotonin, these things get released in our bodies and we feel better. It's the same way with alcoholics connecting. When we connect, somehow we feel better. Somehow we feel a little less alone. Somehow we feel like, well, maybe I can get through the day. Getting through the day is really all we have to do. That's it. I didn't understand that before I got sober. Before I got sober, I thought I had to take on the world every single day. I got to figure my life out when I wake up in the morning. Okay, so I got to get next year planned out. I got to get, okay, if selfish. That's my natural state. Is this selfish state. And now I've learned not to judge myself for that. Sometimes when we think of ourselves as selfish, it's like it's a judgment. It's like, man, I'm selfish. But it's okay. Self-awareness is the gateway to change. If I'm aware that I'm selfish, then I've got a head start on how I can get past it. If I'm not aware, which is how I am in my alcoholic state, I'm not aware of what I'm doing. I'm not aware of where I'm going. I'm not aware of what I'm saying. I'm not aware of who I'm hurting. Not only am I not aware, but I don't care. And it ain't my fault. The big book tells us we are chemically different from our fellows. So if that be true, then I don't have to judge myself for what happens to me when I put things in my body. All I have to do is focus on what is the solution to that. What is the option I have that can prevent me from believing that that is a good choice, when I know historically and repeatedly it ain't. That's what Alcoholics Anonymous has done for me and countless other people. And I am filled with gratitude to know that I am counted amongst you, my fellows, those of us trudging on this journey to wholeness. That's what it is for me. I was broken when I got here. I think I'm still broken in ways, but it's just like, when you've got a television set and for some reason the remote doesn't work. Oh, it's the most frustrating thing on earth, because I got it right here. There's batteries in it. Why is this not working? Why will this remote not work? So there's a lot of anxiety and uncertainty and frustration and anger in that experience. But the minute we get somebody over here, a tech comes by and says, oh no, you do the tech. Oh man, that's what I needed. That's all I needed to do, is to press input first before I try to go to cable. It's the input. The input button was the secret. I think that's what the 12 steps of Alcoholics Anonymous does for us. It gives us this blueprint that we know how to get the input. If I can get God's input in my life, if I can wake up and fall to my knees and not try to say, what do I have to do today? But God say, where do you need me today, Lord? Where do you need me today, higher power? I'm giving it to you. I don't have to have the anxiety and the stress of figuring this out anymore. It makes life a little bit more manageable. It makes life for me a little bit more exciting. It makes life for me a lot less anxious. I am a musician and a songwriter and a performer and a singer, and sometimes a dancer. Don't y'all hey, hold up, your boy from the night. Okay. And, when you're in the entertainment industry, at least for me, my experience was, I had a lot of access to that stuff. A lot of us artists, hide behind this thing called drugs and alcohol. And, you know, we use it sometimes, and I shouldn't say we, you know, I used it to escape. I used it to get out of my feelings. I used it because getting to know myself was far scarier than it was what was going to happen when I drank. And I used it, I thought, to be inspired. The drinks, you know, the shots make me more creative, man. You know, I need some bumps. I need something to get me out of this state. I need to be creative. That's why I'm an artist and I deserve an 8-ball of cocaine. That's why I can write an incredible song. What do you mean? That's what it's about. And then if I'm honest, if I'm really honest about what it does when I put that in my nose, is I'm paralyzed and I don't even want to move. And I don't even want to be around people. And I really want to just lock myself in a room somewhere and have pity on myself. Or I want to look at porn all day. Or I want to do something that's not functioning. I want to do all the stuff that is the opposite of me saying, I'm about to be really creative right now. It took me a long time to accept that. And it took a lot of heartbreak from people that I loved to see it. But I'm so grateful that today I see it. You know, I have an opportunity every day to see it. So I have a sponsor who took me through the 12 steps of Alcoholics Anonymous. And it's funny, I have a buddy of mine in a men's group, and he was sharing with me that he just did his 5th step, and he called me freaking out. And he was like, hey man, I'm feeling really vulnerable right now. And I'm feeling like, you know, my sponsor's not going to want to talk to me anymore. And I'm feeling judged. And I'm like, man, I did too. And then you could hear it in the phone. Really? You did too? I was like, yeah, man. I thought my sponsor wasn't going to talk to me because there were a couple things. And here's what happened with me. We went through the 5th step and I said 92%. And then he asked me, he said, is there anything else? And then I got to 97%. And he was like, okay, all right, we're done. He said, well, wait, is there anything else? And it was like my soul was waiting for him to ask me that 3rd time. My soul was waiting to be cleansed, but I needed him to ask me that 3rd time. I don't know why, but I remember when he asked me, I said, yeah, these last few things I was going to take to the grave. These are the things that I didn't want anybody to know. And then I got rid of those things. And you know what he said? Okay, cool, let's move on. And I'm like, oh, right? Isn't that what happens in our head? We blow it up and we grandiosize it, whatever that word is, and we make it bigger than what it is. And that is the beauty of this program, is we get to get right-sized, and we get to right-size our problems, and we get to get it in the space between, and we get to connect with someone that tells you, man, I feel like that too sometimes. And this is what I do. And we feel better, and we are better. So if you're new, I hope that you take from whatever I've said here and you chisel it away and just know that you're not alone. No matter what happens, no matter how you feel, no matter what you're going through, no matter what somebody says to you, no matter what somebody didn't say to you, is that you are no longer alone. And you can pick up that phone and ask for help, or you can get on your knees and ask for spiritual help. And we're here, and we will be here as long as you need us to be here. I am grateful that I was here. I hope I said something. I don't even know how much time I have left. Actually, maybe I do have more time. But I see, 5 o'clock, so I feel like I'm running over. So anyway, I am grateful to be sober. I look forward to hearing from you. Thanks for letting me share.
Thank you, Philip. Thanks so much, everybody. Thanks, Philip. Okay.
Thank you. Amazing.
Thank you. That was wonderful.
Bless you, Phillip.
Thanks, everybody. Thank you. Thanks, Philip. Love you. Okay, we'll now begin the sharing portion of the meeting. Please use the raise hand feature. If you would like to share, please limit your share to 2 to 3 minutes. Our timer, Anita, will give you a 1-minute warning after 2 minutes. And CJ, can you show us what happens when there's 1 minute remaining?
Hey everybody, that's the little I spell, y'all.
Thanks. And can you show us what happens when the time is up? What everybody will see.
You get the big ass spell, y'all.
Okay. Thanks, CJ. Thank you. Okay. Let's see. Philip, would you like to call on people or do you want me to? Me? Okay. All right, let's start with Brad. Brad, you're up.
I'm Brad. I'm an alcoholic. Today's Monday, and that's not good for raging alcoholic. I was dark this morning. I honestly, I thought there was nothing good was going to come of this day, and I prayed really hard, took out my little red meeting in a pocketbook and read it through and hit my knees and went to the meeting that we go to out here in the morning. And it was one of those days where it really strikes you. I took a complete contrary action on the day. I was supposed to go in one direction and do 40 things, and the whole world was going to end if I did an X. And I said, you know what? I just have a feeling if I tune into program, it's going to be good. Well, Philip's my sponsor. Sorry if I get teary. My sponsor, though. And I didn't know he was speaking today. And Jeffrey, out of nowhere, shares that to my text. And I was like, right? Like, so I'm here because I got a sponsor. And he took me through the steps. And I've got a sponsee. And I know my grand sponsor. And I know my great grand sponsor. And it means a lot to me. And I know who to call, and I got guys and I got women, I got people who I can speak to. So I just decided today it's a 5-meeting day, and that's where I'm at. So I'm on 4. I love you, Philip. I love this meeting so much. And Jeffrey, thanks for sharing it. I'm so thrilled you're helming this, and to hear you, Philip, on this particular day, I just really can't say enough. So love you all. Peace.
Thanks, Brad. Thank you. Thanks for sharing. Kathleen, you're up.
Hi, thanks, Jeff. I'm Kathleen. I'm an alcoholic. Brad, I relate to what you just said. And Philip, thank you so much for your share. I did not know about this meeting. Jeffrey also popped up in my texts, and I'm so glad to know. I was going about my day, having just a fine day, and then I got thrown. And when I unexpectedly get thrown, I just am not great at coming back. And when you said that everything's not about me, that's not where I was. I was assuming that everything was about me. The whole world was about me. All you people were probably thinking about me earlier because I was the center of the universe and just like losing my shit. And I am not good at asking for help. I feel like I'm an inconvenience for people. And man, as soon as I was losing it, I got out and I was like, okay, what am I going to do? What am I going to do? I can't drink. I'm just going to get in the car, and I'm not at my house. I'm on vacation. And so I started driving around, and I was like, I guess I don't know what I'm going to do. And then one of my fellows just popped up on my phone and said, what are you doing? And I said, I'm just losing my shit over here. No big deal. She's like, oh, great. How about this meeting? And man, I calmed down a little bit. And then I don't know, it was the HP working for me, I guess, telling me I needed to come to this meeting and hear you, because I've heard you before, and I've heard you a lot of times before. And man, this one, just everything you said just really helped me. I was feeling very, very alone. And I'm glad I don't feel alone anymore. And I feel much calmer. I mean, my first instinct was like, okay, I'm going to go get a drink. It doesn't matter that I'm coming up on a year. I can probably just get one drink. But I didn't. So I was like, you know what I'm